I am so sick of the way low-income people and homeless people are treated. The discrimination and the maltreatment that they receive, it's so astonishing. I'm writing a book on it. Yeah. The everything from, refusing a mother and her children shelter space in the dead of winter because they're not originally from your geographic area, to, you know, some of the living conditions that people in transitions houses and emergency temporary shelters have to live in. But not only the living conditions, but also the attitudes that we receive, and the discrimination, and really like the talking down to, and the stigmatization. It's hurtful. It's brutal and it's hurtful, and it pisses me off. And I'm told that I'm just supposed to shut my mouth, and I'm not that kind of subservient person to be able to just ignore social justice issues that such as this, you know. Yeah, I promised myself and God a while back that I will not be silenced, and I will always speak out about injustices in my life and in others' lives, and do something to either raise awareness or to make the change wherever possible. Sometimes it's just to observe and then report through my content creation or the books that I write or that I'm writing. Yeah, we are in temporary emergency shelter accommodations, my children and I. And this morning we went down to receive some breakfast bags. So the staff here, this is an old abandoned hotel that has now been converted to service the homeless clients, which is good, which is what needs to happen, which is what all the cities need to be doing, is to, taking the older hotels and repurposing them to be homeless shelters. So anyways, there's a communication problem though amongst the staff. That is that they don't communicate with each other. And, one staff says one thing and one staff says another. So this place no longer operates as a hotel. It's just for emergency shelter clients. It's actually like, it's got an abandoned pond that's now a swamp. And it's got a water park, indoor water park that's abandoned. It's closed off. You're not really allowed to get close to it. But the kids look at it through the window and stuff. It's kind of neat. Some of them like to run around and say it's haunted and this and that. But anyways, it's a cool place that if I had the money, I would love to fix it up and be like our own little Eden, like our own little oasis here. And I actually have really great ideas for this place. I wouldn't change it back into like a hotel or a resort. I would keep it to service clients that are homeless and in transition. And, there's so many rooms in this place that I would multi-purpose some of the rooms to teach the clients or to further their training and knowledge of specific skills and trades, things that can be taught, such as like Reiki, reflexology, but not just the aesthetics portion. Like some people even do tattoos, and they can use their treatment room or whatever else. It doesn't have to be that. It can be something else they're good at, and then use that time that they're here to also to strengthen their skill, and so that they have an easier time reintegrating back into the community. So anyways, that is my idea. If fortune and favor falls on our lap this week, in the forms of millions of dollars, so that I can buy this place and help a lot of people that way and make this place a better place. So anyways, back to my story. This morning we went down to get these breakfast bags. So when we first got here about 2 weeks ago, we were coming from an apartment that we had lived at only for a few days. There was so many health hazards. The fire marshal had to come in and like tell them to do a bunch of repairs and stuff. We're not going back there. So anyways, we're here. I got off topic a little bit. So yeah, when we first got here, we weren't told that they have these breakfast bags. So we went, we started getting them. And the one staff had said, be here between 9 and 10 to get them. So we get there this morning and the other staff is like, no, it's actually between 8 and 9. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you guys, like, you say different things. So some people here complain about the breakfast bags and the quality of them and this and that. I believe that people should be grateful that they're in receipt of them at all. I know I personally cannot eat them because I'm allergic to them. They're full of gluten. You know, I can't eat gluten, so there's that. But still in the same, I'm grateful that, you know, I have it so that I can give it to my children, or that others have it, you know. So that's fine. But this morning they ran out. There wasn't any. And I just mentioned how the staff, you know, aren't communicating with each other. My girlfriend spoke up and she's like, well, you know, she's having a really bad mice problem in her room. And I just got here 2 weeks ago. And you know, I have put out the traps that they have given me. But the one staff had said, oh, she refuses to put out traps. And I'm like, what? I go through like 10 traps a day. And it's not just all mice, like, don't be that alarmed. Actually, what we're mostly catching is wasps and flies. We're putting the traps outside the units, like just along the doorways and stuff, but we're also putting them inside. We haven't caught anything inside, but we've been catching a lot of wasps, a lot of flies. But yeah, that's about it. So I've been doing my part. I've been putting them out. I didn't know when I came here that this was going to be a problem. Had I known, I would have been more careful, like not to, like, you know, make a mess of crumbs, or to make sure to keep the food concealed, you know, in plastic bins, right? So then I asked about the vacuum. I said, okay, I have a dustbuster, but the battery ran out and I can't find my charger. I said, is there a vacuum here that I can borrow so that I can vacuum my room? And one of the staff is like, well, no, that's something you're supposed to buy when you move somewhere. I said, we're living in a shelter/hotel. Grace, on this side, please. No, away from the construction. I said, you know, normally hotels have like the vacuum that you can borrow, right? Anyways, it was just major attitude about that. But she looked at me like I was kind of like, it was kind of alien of me to ask. And she's like, well, you should have one. I'm like, well, I can't find the charger for my dustbuster, but normally when you go to a shelter or hotel, you know, they do have vacuums that you can borrow. So anyway, she thought I was an idiot for asking that question, but I thought the question was like pretty common question to ask. I'm sorry, do you have something I can clean the carpet with? I don't know. And now my girlfriend is having to move out today because her kids were playing somewhere where they weren't supposed to, and now she's getting kicked out. And yeah, I mean, the way that people in our position are treated, it's really shitty. I wish people would wake up and realize that we are all everyday people just trying to make it in this world, and